Hey there folks, game number 2. We have got First up against Lillekanin. I'm going to speed it up because this was a longer game. Game number 1 is interesting. You try to go Mech against Protoss, which is fun. But you can see why it's so challenging against Protoss. Just with how methodical First was in getting his great economy out, all of his tech. The blink stalker harass against the armies and moved across the map. It was played very well. But this is a much longer game, so we'll see what it comes out to, and we'll see if Lillekanin changes up or if he's still going to try meching against Protoss. It's almost like a protest to want to mech against Protoss. Going for the same kind of build here, for a very, very fast reactor on it. Straight into the factory. And proxy Stargate this time. Now, Lillekanin may have spotted that a probe come out of that base. It looks like he's scouting for proxies. Or he's making his own. Right on. The problem is this Oracle is going to be out and moving across the map pretty fast, and there's nothing really to deal with it right now, at all. Widow Mines moving out. They're going to be dropped into the main. The problem is he might just lose every single worker he has as this thing goes down. Unless he gets really sick and amazing hits with that there, a Widow Mine. Back behind this here, Protoss player, he got himself walled off at the front with a couple stalkers to try and deny what he thinks is going to be Hellions coming in. Now, for this Oracle, there's nothing here to deal with this. Just nothing. Hellions making their way around the bottom of the map. Let's just see how much this Oracle gets done. It feels so sexy to walk into a mineral line and see no defense. There's that tier 1 control. Oh. Actually, a little bit of misclicks there. Well, 9 kills is pretty good. Now, Hellions come in and drop. There's no detection at all for the Protoss player. Oh, not very good splits at all from the Protoss. And that actually gives Lillekanin the lead. And then once again, there's no detection in here at all. That Oracle is going to have to come home at some point. I mean, he might not want to. I mean, because he can get more damage in with this thing. He's actually going to go back to one basing it. Protoss does have down a Nexus now. Man. Ooh, wow. Now that's pro school right there. Saves both of the Widow Mines. And this means the Oracle is not out here being a part of the harassment game. But the problem is the Terran player is not working on another base right now. Does have down... Did he get out a Banshee? No, he didn't. He does have a tech lab down, but he hasn't started building anything of this. I mean, he doesn't have the gas. One gassing Banshees or even Ravens, pretty darn tough. A little surprised he hasn't taken that other gas just yet. Now, we've got another detection yet? The Protoss player? I think the Oracle took off. Oh, the Oracle's standing right next to this thing. He got a couple more kills before he went down. I actually think it would have been fun to bring the Oracle like over here and drop a Widow Mine and kill it off to see if the Protoss was paying attention. Units wise, the Terran player still got a lead in workers, despite 2 at a time being made right now from the Protoss. Command center is finally going down right now. And there's a good chunk of units here. It's not like there's stim or anything else, but with a Widow Mine in tow, you don't know what you can get accomplished, right? It's always a mystery. Oracle is following the Banshee. Cloak is on the way as well. Phoenix, they're chasing for it. And they find it. Unfortunately, Banshees get rolled by Phoenixes. Just smoked. Nice control. Does get that Oracle. It's always tidy. Missile turret going down preemptively. But it doesn't look like the Protoss player is too interested in using that Stargate much more. Cloak and another Banshee. Actually, he is getting another Oracle out. I guess that's the only detection he has for right now. He hasn't invested in a robo or anything. He's been so bad in economy. Can't really afford to do that. It looks as though the Terran player is going to go over there and shut that down, maybe? Oh man, Phoenixes do not get one shot by Widow Mines. Down to 20 health. But he's invested in, this is his third Banshee he's invested in. And the Cloak, and he hasn't got like a single kill for his troubles. Did the Oracle get out? There it is, yeah. Slightly beat up as well. Looks like it took a shot or two on the way out. Does end up killing himself a couple of Marines. Stalker's gonna come shut this down. Did a Banshee get out? No, he didn't. He spent on 3 Banshees and Cloak. That is some of the biggest, and he didn't even kill the starport. That's some of the biggest waste I've seen from a player. Well, the command center is finished over here. If we do look at the units wise, Protoss player is up by 12 workers right now. And we do have a command center being started on here, as well as a third base for the Protoss player. This game is probably going to be nobody touches anything for a while, so I'm going to speed it up. That's just my thoughts on it. We do have the Robo and the Robo Bay, so we'll have some Colossus coming out here. It does look as though our Terran player is going to go meching again. Do you like the smidgen of IO in here, just to keep things real? This Marine is not on the watch. There we go. So we'll say he's kind of wasting his time. Double Forge going down right now for First. Just getting into that standard macro game kind of feel. And even a 4th Nexus. You don't see that too often out of Protoss players because it's pretty hard to mine efficiently off of 4 bases. But this guy's already starting to go down a bit. Lots of tanks in position. Another command center. More factories. And that armory. Ooh, that Oracle got smoked. One of those there, Widow Mines got sniped. The other one did run away in time. Marine's trying to make a run for it. Blink's about to finish up. Though he did have a Banshee finish. There's no detection in the main. This is kind of annoying, I suppose. Now this is, I would say, is a better map for meching. You just got tighter bases you can take for your 3rd and your 4th. Though we still haven't seen the Terran player try to move out and do that yet. Like when you have like one worker randomly like slapping away at the bricks. Once again, we're seeing that micro coming out of here from First. Just picking off what he can for free. 3rd base is going to go down. Double Banshees. As he runs right over top of an observer and a pylon. Ugh. Wow, those shots. I did not think that was going to make it. This Banshee's still alive over here at 7 kills. Lots of observers out on the map. It's crazy this Stargate's still alive over here. High Templar on the way into Archons. That Archon splash is awesome. There is a Raven down here to track things down. But it's very interesting to see him go into Ravens and not spend his energy. Look at all the energy on this command center. See him go into Ravens. Ghost Academy. This is about to get weird, I think. Triple Stargates going down. He does have another one up here. So we've got 4 Stargates. I don't even know what to say anymore. He's going to lose a few of these Stalkers because they were on Blink cooldown, but it looks like they will get out of there now. That's a pretty smoking size army just barreling down on this one size. Terran player did not expect this, doesn't even siege up, which is probably a smart idea. It gets off a lot of damage with those tanks, even if they're not in siege mode. Obviously, most of the Protoss units do extra damage to things like siege tanks. Point defense drone keeping things alive. Yeah, it's nice to have the zealots in there, but man, they just get clobbered by the blue flame hellions. I think they're just gonna try and run by. A couple of tanks on the high ground here. A couple of hellbats popped out as well. Should be able to help deal with that. So let's actually get cleaned up pretty easy, and game is, it seems really dicey, but at the same time not really. It does want to get that observer. It does snipe it off. Let's look at the overall units. Almost 80 workers for the Protoss player. Terran player is probably pretty comfortable with the amount of workers he has. Still building production, and still a lot of zealots. I mean, they're 2/2 zealots against just +1 mech, but blue flame. It's just so good. He's gonna try to push in here, but all these zealots are really clumped up. I don't know, maybe Protoss players don't really have that much experience fighting mech. Snipe a couple units and back out. And yeah, Terran players just chilling. I mean, the Protoss players going up to 5 bases, more Stargates. Look at the infrastructure for these guys. It's ridiculous. On this side, mass air. 4 Banshees at a time. Does need to get more upgrades though. It's only got 1 army making attack at one point. If you've got this kind of economy, or at the same time I'd say take your 4th base. But if you're in this position, get that other armory down. Just so that way you know that you can... Ooh, just cloaks that Banshee in time. Sniping the sensor tower is always nice. Scan sees the 5th base. There's been no harass from either of these players. No missile turrets on this one side. He does have the south side kind of covered. Oh, he blocked himself in there. That's cool. And now he has double armories up. Fantastic. Would like to see maybe a nuke or something. That'd be fun. We actually have the fleet bacon coming down. I don't know what the Phoenixes are for. I guess maybe just hunting down all the Banshees because they can just clobber through Banshees. But it doesn't seem like that valuable of an investment, particularly if he gets out more Ravens with point defense drones. There is very, very little anti-air in here, though. And I wonder if First is recognizing that that's the case, like even another base. Like if you want Void Rays, even, it sounds funny, but Go Carriers, how effective that would be against this, just because there's so little anti-air. There's a couple of Marines, I think, still kicking around inside of here, but, I mean, he's not upgrading those. He's not building any more of them. Finally going to get another command center in place. The Protoss, but look at the supply. He's really invested very little into more supply, focusing on getting out all the tech in the right units. Finished pretty much all of his upgrades now, except for shields, which he's already starting. Couple of Phoenixes out, see what's going on. Does get that observer out of there. And both the Phoenixes. Vikings are finally in production with some Ravens. He does have his mech upgrades chugging along just fine. But there's like 3 Tempests at a time. Protoss Air. Get a second Cybernetics Core out. Play super noobish. Like when you have like those 40-minute games, double Cyber, double Air upgrades. Just go all out. Don't know what he had to cloak those for. Guess he's moving out now. He's just about maxed, and he's got a pretty good supply lead over his opponent. Oh, big warp in. I was about to say, there was a gap. It's actually hitting quite a bit of the add-ons here. It actually was building ghosts, believe it or not. Did what he can. A lot of his production isn't rallied, and is missing a lot of its add-ons here, so he's going to have to rebuild his infrastructure, but he is maxed. More missile turrets going down. Try to keep himself in this. Mothership is on the way. He's gonna, I wish you went carriers. Like Max, though, get a mothership, maxed out on carriers. They're so expensive and high on like supply cost, and it's very hard to justify it. But it's pretty friggin' sweet. So again, the Terran army is maxed. He is getting, I think that's cloak for ghost. Yeah, personal cloaking. Maybe we'll get nukes out. Maybe we'll get something really fancy. Looks like he's interested in slowly taking another base there. Lots of Tempests out. Tempest upgrades are just 1-1-1 though, whereas the Terran mech's about to be 3-2. I don't know if he caught that or not. He's scanning everywhere right now. More command centers, sensor towers. Man, it's just the Terran hasn't, other than a couple of harassment points early in the game, hasn't really ever left his base. And I mean, the onus is kind of on the Terran player, you would think, because the Protoss player is taking all the bases on the map. I'm actually a big fan, if you find yourself in this position, take bases really close to where the Terran player is, and just start mining them out. Like, pull a whole bunch of your workers from your bases, and just start mining out a lot of what they're doing. Terran looks like he doesn't really have an answer that he wants to put forward against these here. There's the double cyber going. 2-2 on the way, plus 2 shields as well. Lots of Vikings coming out. None of these players have really got a huge bank yet, despite how late this game is and how little they've been fighting each other. Such an interesting mix. Is he in the high impact side of things? Yeah, he is in high impact. Is there a storm on these high temperatures? Yes, there is. I'd be really surprised if it didn't have storm yet. Command center is going into position. Now I'm just waiting to see what the Terran player wants to do. He's maxed and he's starting to bank. Now he's actually got to go and try and do some damage somewhere. Scans, sees what's going on. There's an Oracle over here. Really top pro players will really focus on getting revelations out to see where the army is at. It looks like he might be worried about a counterattack. A lot of the times against an army this big, you don't really want to fight it head on, so you just kind of swerve around and harass. Dark Shrine is on the way. With a lot of ravens out, it doesn't really seem like it's that big of a deal. But it's nice to just have it as part of the mix. Ghosts are finished. They're going to be looking to get some sick EMPs. He got a lot of the observers now. Or maybe not. There's 4 observers still on the map. I guess he just missed that one. He's got observer speed, for God's sake. Raven with full energy gets picked off. And I don't know why what the hesitation here is for the Terran. I guess he's really worried about these storms. Maybe we're about to watch the 20-minute slow push. That's always a thing, right? More Thors coming out. Planetary Forge is going down. 3-3 air on the way right now. Tempest is going to come snipe a few units. I don't know if tanks are really that important to Lillekanin right now. He's even going to throw away some workers. Now we can see those banks really start to climb for our opponents here. Nice high ground vision. You would think for a planetary being that tall, it should be able to give you high ground vision. And I'm not too sure what Lillekanin is waiting on at this point. I mean, he's been maxed a couple of times, but he's just not willing to take an engagement here. He's not making more ghosts, I know that. Nice feedback on one of the Banshees. Pretty good damage overall. Mass Thors, is that the answer? Is that the answer we've been looking for? Like, so many bases. It's ridiculous. He's got so much chrono boost and everything else. I mean, This is just strange. I'm sure First's even playing this game. It's like, this is just kind of strange, isn't it? Stalkers being little harassment buddies right now, just getting their work done. Lots of cannons going down. You might as well. You've got the minerals. Keep yourself alive from harassment. Thing is, all the Thors, they're still massive units. So these Tempests will just crush through them. Deploying defense drones are going to be super critical. I don't think he's got that many as part of this composition though right now. He's got a couple cast over here. Trades away a few of his stalkers. I don't think he's too worried about it. He's got lots of money. He's going to remax it on High Templars. Scan, sees what's going on. He's looking for observers. I don't know if he's trying to walk out, hit the money EMP, and then attack, but he's maxed again. More harassment going down. Gets the envision so he can be able to hit those even further away. This base is at least up and mining uncontested, but he's got to put units over there to keep it alive. Command centers close to going down. That looks so funny when all those shots hit PDDs and just kind of... He's actually cannon pushing, which I agree with totally. He's got the money to spend. It looks like this is finally the moment for the Terran where he feels comfortable about this. Storms are going down. They're hitting a lot of units. Is this... It's not going super smooth, but I think Lillekanin is winning this. Thors with their high impact shells are crushing face, obviously. Okay, well Lillekanin did take that fight, but... And he's already not ahead in supply. There's not many Hellbats in this comp, so those Zealots are probably going to do some good work. I think the Terran actually has to like retreat, heal up, and re-push. I don't think he can go up against this army with this composition. One random ghost chilling it. Ugh. That's just First. He invested in so many gateways. He's just remaxing in no time. This is not a bad spot to fight, though. Zealots aren't getting the right surface area, but they're still working it out. Archons crushing through a lot of these Banshees here. Missed the Observer. Remaxed again with more Stalkers. I mean, he's spending his gas pretty fast. But in all honesty, the Protoss player can afford to throw these away and just throw endless waves of Zealots at his opponent. Blue Flame is carving through a lot of these Zealots here. The Archons aren't quite keeping it together. This has got to be pretty close to GG at this point. I mean, it's just 10 High Templars and 10 Zealots at a time. How many structures does he have? How many gateways has he got? 20 gateways. Well, that makes sense. 10 and 10. 5 Archons, bunch more Zealots. You know, why not? I'll just throw those in there. Come back again one more time. He does need to make some more observers, though. I think he's been getting those ritualistically sniped. No remorse, he's just going to push in here, go for the win. Archons in the back, busting through that. GG, well played. I mean, that was fun, but I've got to say that Lillekanin was just sitting around, didn't look like he knew what the strategy was, even once he was maxed out. Even with that great army composition, It was he eventually just had to take kind of a clumsy fight, and even then, out the other side first had 10,000 minerals in the bank. I mean, what do you do against that? Anyway, SeKo Starcraft. Thank you very much. Going on to the next game.